Gary, are you still deep into Fortnite?
Not so much. No.
God, what'd you do? Get a life? What happened?
I can't beat the kids.
Can't be the kids. I'm just about at tier 100.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
They put Batman in to help you beat the kids.
I know.
But the thing is when you go to that area, nothing loads.
Batman.
So you land in
Batman.
Gotham City, the textures doesn't load, and your character gets stuck in the floor.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
I was disappointed that they didn't give away like a good skin for that one. Like like $25 for a skin. Youch. That's how Fortnite gets you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't buy stuff.
All about the money.
I brought the battle pass, but like I wouldn't spend £15 on a Batman skin.
No.
But that's like Untitled Goose Game and more. So.
Yeah, that's exactly it, right?
By the way,
Wait till
guys,
they drop that new map next month.
Yeah.
I'm really confused because chickens don't have fingers, but they definitely have some goujons, right?
See, I knew you'd love the chicken goujons. Good goujon right now, right?
We have both names, but
really?
Like goujons are normally bigger than fingers.
Yeah, a little bit. Like like listen, I'm trying to Americanize this for these folks. I gotta like try and make some translation adjustments.
Yeah.
So I was at the Chiefs game on Sunday, and I decided to go off keto for the week or however long it takes me to get back on.
Yeah.
And they had the biggest chicken fingers I've ever seen. They were really good.
They were goujons.
Nice.
They probably were, but of course they didn't call it that.
No, of course.
They were expensive as hell because it was inside.
What area of the chicken does the goujon come from?
It's fingers. They cut their fingers. They cut their fingers off.
This is not an After Dark episode.
But you know what kind of episode it is? It's episode 248 of Nintendo Dads. Welcome, recorded on September 26, 2019. On tonight's episode, Mario Kart is on your phone. That's fun. But Nintendo has been Dr. Greedy and wants to take all of your money. Plus, we've been playing some Link's Awakening, some Untitled Goose Game, had our hands on a Nintendo Switch Lite. Oh my, ladies and gentlemen, there's so much more. Plus, all of your questions. Jesse, cue the music.
That's right, everybody. It's episode 248 of Nintendo Dads. It's September 26th, and I am here surrounded by three of the finest people that the digital world has to offer. My name is Marty Estes. Thanks for joining us tonight and tomorrow, if you're listening to this on the day the actual podcast drops. But for those of you fine folks who are on YouTube, hanging out in the chat tonight, thanks a lot for wasting some time with us tonight. We love you. We appreciate you. Also, I gotta say, now you've talked about chicken fingers, and I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm. We're still working on that sponsorship. Like, who can sponsor us? Also,
Tyson.
hard moment here. Marty, you and I need to have a chat.
Okay.
Because I'm slightly upset and disappointed.
Oh no.
So a couple of weeks ago, we've had conversations about almost becoming like food dads. You know what I mean? Like, we got chicken wings going on.
I know where this is going.
We got plant-based meat products.
I know where this is
right.
going.
I was promised a chicken wing eating unboxing of Amiibo, and I didn't see that. What happened? What happened?
That's not where
week?
I thought this was going.
Also, you still owe a Burger King meat product.
That's where I thought that was going, and I'm gonna have to go eat an Impossible Whopper tomorrow. Here's the deal. The Amiibos, they came in. I picked them up. I was with my family. We had already eaten. We got home and we got terribly busy. Had a big event at my job last weekend, and so I didn't get to unbox the Amiibo until Sunday, and there were no chicken wings.
Right.
However, there will be a supplemental update featuring chicken wings at a later date.
Okay. All right.
And here's what it's going to be. I'm ready. Are you ready for this? Marty Estes attempts Greg Miller's chicken wing recipe.
All right. We can do
We're
it.
gonna
All
try
right.
it.
I'm excited now for this. Speaking of people,
You shouldn't be excited because I'm going to eat all the chicken wings you're going to have to watch.
I know. I may just order chicken wings and watch you. Speaking of a man who would love to eat some chicken wings because he has the largest goujons I've ever seen, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jesse Waldak. Jesse, what's going on, buddy?
Pretty good. I forget. It's been so long already, so I forget who mentioned it. But someone said Digital World, so I'm thinking which one of us is Ty, which one of us is TK. You guys don't get the joke. Okay, thank you.
No, I get it. No, I
All right.
get it. I wish I didn't because Digimon is garbage.
False.
Not false. I had a teenager in one of my earlier groups when I was younger and he was much younger when Digimon was, a new thing, and he used to think that the song said, "Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the Jub Jub."
That's a logical transition. That's a logical.
Makes about as much
absolute-
sense as the show did.
Speaking of a guy who always makes sense regardless of what time it is in the
Okay.
morning, Mr. Gary Gray from across the pond in the UK. What is going on, Gary?
Oh, those goujons.
all-
I'm good. I'm filled with coffee and ready to go as usual.
Gary's been partying. You
Yeah,
see it in the
he's-
back there?
Yeah, for those of you that are missing the live stream, he's got his happy birthday signs up. It was your daughter's birthday recently, 5 years old, right?
Yeah, 5 years old. Same day that Link's Awakening came out. So I was like, "This is Daddy's present for the day." But she soon kicked me off it.
Nice. Good. That's the way to go, Erica. You should keep doing that. I like it. Well, folks, here I actually do want to take a quick pause here before we transition over to our usual bumpers and buttons. When we talked about the meat product, I want the Ultimate Meat Burger. I do want to have a legitimate statement here, though. In Canada, Tim Hortons has decided to stop serving their meat-based sausage in like almost all of the Western provinces. They're only keeping it, I think it is for Toronto or for Ontario and Quebec. That's it. They have discontinued all of it after literally a 3-month run. They have said hard pass. Do you know why? Because they saw my video of me spitting it out and saying this
You
is
mean
I was
the
gonna say the
less
rest of Canada-
sausage? Because
The rest of Canada came
Right.
to their senses and said, "No, heck to the no. We will not eat meat made out of plants."
That's exactly it. But of course, we don't have to eat meat. We don't have to eat meat that is from plants due to the amazing folks over at patreon.com because they keep our lights on and they keep us paid. Marty, tell us more about patreon.com.
So you can head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, and for as little as $1 a month, you can get exclusive access to our Discord server where you're going to find such hits as Lobby and Let's Play NOA and Let's Play EU, as well as if you get into monthly mayhem, you can participate in a monthly contest to win eShop dollars from us. There's also deep cuts like accessories and 1-2 3DS and deals, where we tell you about deals.
It literally sounds like you're reading off like the worst songs on a CD, right?
I'm
like
reading it off
other fantastic mega hits like Nintendo Dad's Show Log, Classic, and of course, Cloud Gaming.
And featuring our #1 hit, After Dark.
1, 2, 3 DS. What's that song go? 1, 2, 3 DS. Ah.
Right. The song is actually just dead. Nobody plays it anymore.
Too soon.
Oh, but anyway, over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, we want you to join us. $1, $5, $10, $15, or $30 a month gets you an array of goodness that you also get the added benefit of helping to make this juggernaut continue to roll.
in one of the rooms was a conversation about everyone tracking their Super Nintendo controllers.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
Because they were supposed to have been delivered yesterday, and no one's got it yet.
Yeah.
I got mine today.
I'm supposed to get mine tomorrow.
Today, I was in a chat with a couple of the guys talking about wireless headsets, actually, Arctis headsets. So lots of really good conversation going on. Always someone there to answer some questions for you.
Super helpful to be a part of the Discord. Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, if we make the statement of like, hey, help keep our lights on, all of a sudden we're going to have like zero funding because people are like, let's stop this show. This is absolute trash and garbage. I could be spending those $5 somewhere else better, maybe like a subscription to the Mario Kart online tour. Let's jump right into the news, Jesse. All right, that's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa. Hold up. What? Hold on. Whoa. Before we do the news.
Whoa.
We have a correction. This is important. This is important.
All right. It's valid. There was a conversation.
It's important because it's not because I'm correcting anybody. It's because one of our fans reached out to us on social media this past weekend and brought a correction to us. And so I said, look, we're going to share this on the show. So anyway, last week on the show, we said that the UK region Super Nintendo controller was only able to be ordered by one person, or one per household, right? Mm-hmm. That, ladies and gentlemen, is wrong, and we admit when we're wrong, and we admit that was not good.
Gary's looking confused, so maybe.
So
let's go to our resident UK.
I'm going back to the tweet. Tell us how we got here, Jesse.
Okay, so when the Super Nintendo controllers were announced, in the North American Direct, it said in small print, limit 4 per account. Apparently in the UK Direct, it said limit 1 per account. So I took that as what it says. And that's what we said last week. And I don't remember who it was, but someone said, I was able to order up to 4 on mine.
From user Carl Lazewski, he says 5 days ago at Nintendo Dads, just listen to latest ep. You state UK and EU online accounts can only order one SNES controller. This is wrong. We can order 4 per account. And he provides a screenshot so that we can see that. And it says, please note each package contains one Super Nintendo Entertainment System controller and one USB cable. Orders are limited to 4 controllers per Nintendo account. Yeah. So there you go.
And ladies and gentlemen, just like that fantastic Twitter user, you can also put your corrections into our Discord at the hashtag actually, which will be a chat which you can give us feedback about everything that we get wrong on a weekly basis.
Now.
Beginning this week, we're going to set that up so you can actually us.
So,
but that's great.
Tim's got homework.
Tim, you got homework. Actually is. But that is a great feedback as well. So hopefully that didn't cause any confusion.
Thanks for catching stuff. It keeps us honest, right?
Yep. It absolutely is. I'm just giving you a hard time if it sounds like I'm being a jerk. But no, good. That's good feedback.
Yep. So Mario Kart Tour. Let's talk about this garbage fire.
Okay. So that's a bit of a
hold up. Again, I'm not saying it's a garbage fire, but it has become one. It's a social media, but let's just call it what it is. Mario Kart Tour, very highly anticipated, right? Yep. I would say that the hype on this is and was close to Mario Run levels of hype.
Based on first day downloads, it is like doubled Mario Run.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's done great. It's getting making a lot of money for Nintendo. It was already like top 19 in the world, like right after its launch, but it's been, I guess, since Mario Run that Nintendo has debuted an app and it been so universally reviled. This did not land well with people, did it?
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about what didn't land well. Because, I mean, I think so when we look at the actual launch and first day, 10.1 million downloads globally. This has beat games such as Fortnite or Pokemon Go. So this is definitely from Nintendo's perspective, I think the largest first day launch that they have ever had. But I think what everyone is kind of hot trash fire, whatever you want to call it, that's being called into question here is it's the season pass for $4.99 USD. I think it's $5.99 Canadian. I don't know what that translates over to your funny money there, Gary. So Gary's like, I don't know. He's like, download stuff. What? I don't know how this works.
Yeah, it's about £5, I think.
So about £5. So Nintendo has a monthly subscription service where you can get extra challenges. It unlocks the 200 cc's, and you get extra like carts and equipment. Right? Is that it?
Yeah. So in the beginning, you get an initial boost. You also get access to 200cc, and then once you progress in the cups, you'll get to a point where you'll do like 3 or 4 cups, and you'll get a gift. And if you don't have, like, you get 4 things out of each box, but if you don't have the season pass, you only get 2 of the things, and they're always the lesser of the 4. Like earlier today, I got to open my second gift, and I got a gold blooper cart, and it would not let me have it because I refused to pay $5 a month.
Right. So now here's the other thing I would say to it. This is completely optional, right? You don't if you don't want to play at 200 cc's, that's fine. There is nothing that is blocking you from enjoying the game as it currently stands. You do not have to get this. There are other gotcha mechanics in the game as well that has you buying essentially, I think it's rupees, right? Or something, gems.
Rubies. They are literally called rubies.
Rubies, thank you.
Yeah.
Rubies
is a different franchise.
I know, right? I was like, son of a, come on now. That's the you're wrong section again, right? Rubies to purchase additional carts and stuff like that. So again, I mean, you can pick this game up right now. You can play. It's free to start. You don't need to purchase anything. But I think that everyone kind of thought, wow, why are you, the season pass thing is a little bit ridiculous. Again, completely optional, your choice. But let's look around the horn. Jesse, what did you think of this?
I haven't even launched it, and with hearing everyone's responses, definitely more towards the negative than the positive. I probably won't because I tried the Fire Emblem game. I didn't, the gotcha mechanics got me so far, but it didn't get far in that game. Tried Pokemon Masters. I literally just opened up the 10 boxes. I have enough, they gave us 6,000 gems so I can open up another like 20, but I didn't even bother doing that because I'm at a stuck point. In order to continue, I need a grind, and more loot boxes aren't going to help me with the grinding. So I'm kind of done with that game. And then the Dr. Mario, I'm kind of got sick of that as well when I hit a stuck point. So this if I tried it, it wouldn't last long. So I'm not even going to try it.
Okay, Gary, did you jump into this at all? I think I saw you said you deleted it very quickly.
Yeah, I gave it a fair shake. I probably played it for about 45 minutes. Like I really played. I had a good session with it, and I hated it and uninstalled it. Now, truth be told, I reinstalled it last night and really had a good fiddle around with the options and controls and stuff. I am enjoying it a little bit more, but I still think it's pretty lame.
Sure.
I mean, there's various reasons, right? We'll get into it, but I don't like the controls. I think as a racing game on a mobile, they've somehow managed to make the worst controls of every racing game.
Sure.
And now there's some games like Asphalt 9, I think it is, which I've owned. You don't control left and right in the car. You basically choose paths, and there's a button which is like a skid option. So you don't control the car as such, but you control how it's going to go around the corner and stuff. And I think Mario and these other games where you tilt the phone around, or you press left on the left side of the screen to go left, right on the right side of the screen to go right. Mario Kart's controls are really odd. Now, I found that turning the assisted steering and the drift off actually makes it a lot better. But every other issue of the game still makes it bad, right? I mean, you've got the ridiculous amount of loot boxes, which are illegal in some countries now, and I agree with that. I think it's a form of gambling. I think throwing it down kids' throats is bad. Yet Nintendo's like, we want to protect the kids. You can't use voice chat, but we'll let them gamble. Is crazy to me that they're fine with that, but not with voice chat. And I think that having people's names show up from around the world, but yet you're racing against them as bots is dumb. Like, you may as well have just called them Baby Luigi, Mario, stuff like that. And I just generally find the racing slow and not fun. Like, I've not come any lower down than second place so far in any race on 150cc, and I'm surely never ever going to pay £5 to unlock 200cc, because if it was £1 I would have, because it has been like an impulse purchase, but £5, man. Have you seen they launched a sale this week in Europe, and there's some fantastic games for £5. So why would I spend that on just getting a game slightly faster?
Yeah, and here's the thing. I would say is, and I was having a conversation with a couple people online about this. Like literally less than a week after Apple says we'll take your $5 and you can have a bunch of these games,
100 games.
100 games. Nintendo says we'll take
and more
yours.
coming.
Yeah, more coming. We'll take your $5 and we'll give you a shiny cart and let you go a little bit faster. Now, here's the thing: I
for
don't,
a month, and then if you don't pay up, you don't get to use it anymore.
Right. Let me make this incredibly clear. I do not have an issue with monetization in games. I believe developers, I believe creators, I believe companies need to be compensated. Yeah. I had no issue paying my $10 for Mario Run. I have no problem paying for stuff in Pokemon Go. I see value and get that. I am not debating the monetization of the game. I'm debating the monetization model that this game has contributed.
Yeah,
if instead of being $5, it was like a $2 season pass every month, maybe that's more tangible. But again, let's think about this. If you purchase the $5 a month season pass for Mario Kart, and some of you may be, and if you are, that's awesome. I'm not getting judgy on you. What you do, right? You live your best life. That's okay. You are literally paying more money to play Mario Kart online than you are the Nintendo Switch online program by large.
It's a $60 a year investment, right?
Yeah. You're paying for Mario Kart 8 on like the deluxe, whatever it is.
No. You're not, because Gary has already talked about some of the issues that he's had with the game, and so think about this: if you want Mario Kart and you have a Switch and you want it, like say you don't have it, here's your two options. If you have both an iPhone and a Switch and you don't have Mario Kart, you can pay $60 for a halfway done Mario Kart game. Or if you're near a Walmart here in America, you can go and you can pay $50 for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because they're selling all of their Switch games for $10 off on a daily basis. Yeah. And you're getting every Mario character that you like. You're getting online if you have Nintendo Switch Online. You're getting battle mode. You're getting tracks where you race more than 2 laps.
Yeah.
You're getting more tracks than you got here. Can I was going to talk about some things about this game that because you had, again, around the horn. And then we didn't hear yours either, what you thought about it.
No, you go ahead first, Marty, because I have some.
I just wanted to throw some things in there while we were in the neighborhood, I guess. I'm in the camp of bad controls, right? Like I did not like them to begin with, but I'm like Gary. I toughed it out. I spent some time with it. Now, where he deleted it, I just decided to quit when I got frustrated, and I came back to it later because I was finding it really, really hard to make my cart go where I wanted it to. Like I got the concept of drifting. I get how you do it. And I know that Nintendo has this obsession with wanting to use one finger. Like, oh, you can play it with one hand, whatever. I get it. Um, once I learned, once I guess got rid of how I thought it should play and actually played it the way it played, I things opened up and it changed a lot more. Once I learned that you can go into a drift and then slide your finger the opposite direction and pull the cart with you, to swing out. It makes a lot of sense. Where I have problems with this game is it's very obvious, very, very badly obvious that they want you to spend money. More so than Dr. Mario, more so than Candy Crush ever. Yes, sir.
The question that I'm sure people are asking is why? Why this game? Why this model? Why this monetization model, right? Because it seems kind of super greedy.
It seems aggressive.
So I'm going to just put some very easy information in front of you and tell you exactly why. The number one Nintendo Switch game currently is Mario Kart 8 with 18 million units sold.
Yep.
Mario Kart actually has probably some of the highest nostalgia for individuals because people remember playing it with their friends, sitting around. It's an easily approachable game that doesn't require a high level of skill, right? And now you're putting on a platform where it is easily accessible. I saw on Facebook, like my stepbrother got a message from his wife who's like, Mario Kart's out. We need to do this. And they are not what I would call gamers. Do you know what I mean? Like that is not part of that, but there is such a connection and it's such an approachable, it doesn't matter what age you are, what skill set you have, it's such an approachable game. So if Nintendo was going to strike with any kind of sharp, hard monetization model where they can squeeze the life out of you for every penny, believe it or not, Mario Kart is the one they're going to do it on because it makes business and financial sense in that perspective. Do I agree they executed on it well? No. But Marty, back to you.
No, there's only one other complaint I have about the game, and this is it. The character selection absolutely sucks. And I'm not saying this because there's no Waluigi. Let me just tell you who the characters are in the game. If you've not downloaded it yet, let's run through the characters. There's 3 babies, which bottom line, babies in Mario Kart games suck. Babies don't drive. Get out of here. Get baby Mario, baby whatever, get that garbage out of here and put some more Mario characters that are worth it in there. Anyway, baby Mario, baby Peach, baby Daisy. Then you got Koopa Troopa, Shy Guy, Dry Bones. Then you got Mario, Peach, Yoshi, Daisy, Toad, and Toadette. Bowser, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Metal Mario, Peachette, Pauline, freaking Gangster Mario from Mario Odyssey, and Dry Bones. Who do you hear missing in there?
Shy Guy.
Luigi.
Where's Luigi? Luigi is not in Mario Kart. I counted this up today. There's no Luigi, there's no Wario, there's no Waluigi, there's no Koopa Kids, there's no Bowser Jr., there's none of that. But we've got 3 versions of Peach and 3 versions of Mario and 2 versions of Bowser and freaking Daisy.
But that's smart, right? But it's smart to not put them in, right?
No, they're going to add them in later, right?
Yeah, they're going to make an event on it. It's Luigi month.
It's Luigi time.
Yeah.
Probably in October, so they can capitalize on Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, you're going to have Death's Day October.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So,
but honestly, that to me, just even looking at here, it's like that is a very uninspiring character list from the wealth of Mario characters that they have to choose from. Add in the variants later. I mean, why not do that? Mm-hmm. And percentage wise, I've seen this. To get main characters, we're talking like Mario, Peach, Yoshi, Daisy, Bowser. You have a 1% chance in a pull to pull these. Dry Bowser, who is the most rare character in the game, is a 0.34% chance to pull him in a gacha.
Three
The
out of
easiest character
1,000.
to get in the game is Koopa Troopa. So right now they're running a special for Pauline. You can, you supposedly you can get her more easily. She's still above or still lower than 1%. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody.
Kind of following up on what Justin said. I'm not a fan of the loot box gotcha model. I would probably feel a little bit better if they say, if you want this character, this much money, flat.
Yeah.
And
$5 gets you Pauline, her card, and her glider.
And instead of giving you a 3 in 1,000 chance to get Dry Bowser, call it a $25 thing. Fortnite can do it. Why? Sure.
Well, that's a little bit of my argument. They actually do have something like that. So I'm looking at this New York set, which is 45 rubies, a Mario, and 5-star tickets for 28 Canadian dollars. So it is to me that almost, to your point, and that's a really great equivalent there, Jesse. It's almost the Fortnite mentality, right? We can give you, for your skin is going to be Mario, right? And you're going to get your V-Bucks is your rubies, right? Somebody feels like they almost did a 1-to-1. And again, I can't. I think when we always want to think a company does what's best for the consumer, right? And I don't feel like this is what's best for the consumer. Now,
I've given Nintendo props on previous DLCs.
Yep.
When they've put spending limits in place.
Yep.
Mario Run, $10. You can't spend more than that, even if you wanted to. What was it? The Pokemon Picross.
Mm-hmm.
Think you can spend $25 or $30, but after that, it won't let you pay more if you wanted to, and then you can get as much of the premium currency as you want once you've reached the maximum amount. So at least there's some sort of spending cap per person.
So, with all the negativity going on, I want to end this on a positive note about it, right? Because it's not all bad. The majority, 99% of this game is trash, right? Because the controls are bad, the relentless monetization, the multiple ways in which they want to grab money from you. Yeah, I mean, the model definitely needs to be revised because at the moment, I know people are saying they're really greedy, and I can see why. I think they just don't know how to do mobile. Let's face it. The only game they've got right so far is Fire Emblem, with the way that they've got money spending on that. But other than that, it looks like Mario Kart. The graphics are beautiful. It runs well. It runs really well. There is some good ideas.
I was asking if paying for the pass unlocks all the characters, or you just get the one character.
No.
You get you when you unlock the pass, you're not even guaranteed a character. And now, if you buy the New York set, you get Mario.
Correct.
But the season pass only allows you to get 2 extra items per gift. So
I'm going to pull it up right now, actually.
Yeah, I'm making sure that I'm not telling you the wrong thing. But it says here, if I buy the season pass, I get it says number 1, get gold gifts by racing in tours. Number 2, earn badges from gold challenges. Number 3, unlock 200cc races. And you get right away with the gold pass, you get the equivalent of 11 rubies, 300 gold, 10 tickets, and a gold blooper car.
Yeah. So
that's not even guaranteeing you Metal Mario, who is shown in the advertisement for the season pass.
Yeah.
To me, that I think that if they, let me ask you this. Business, Justin, help us out here.
Sure.
If they had not launched with the season pass model at all, and maybe come back to that later on down the road, or again, if it had been cheaper later on down the road, do you think it would be getting as much hate as it is getting now?
Yeah, I don't think it would have, right? Like I legitimately, and I think it's a pricing model, like really, and I think it's a little bit of the tone deafness, right? I'm not kidding. 5 days earlier, Apple said, "You give us $4.99, we get you 100 games." Google just came out with theirs, saying, "Hey, we kind of have an equivalent system of $4.99, right?" It's a little bit of that tone deaf state to it. If you had said it's a dollar, an extra $1 or $1.50, $2 a month for a season pass. And to your point, Jesse, and it's capped at X, right? Then I think, and by that time you've unlocked everything, then I think you're fine. Again, one of the things I think Nintendo has done well with a lot of their games, I think especially Dr. Mario as well, and even from what I'm kind of seeing here, you don't have to buy the rubies, and you can still get your way through the game. You're grinding, right? Which is fine. But what they have done deliberately here is they have put behind a paywall specific aspects of the game. And I think this is the first time we've really seen that. And not only have we seen the paywall, because I would argue that Mario Run had a slight paywall, but this is a hard paywall.
And I don't like the fact that what I think was Marty explained, that when you get four random items, but if you're not paying, you can only get the bottom two. Of course, there's no guarantee that the probability of getting two good items is the same. They could be really sleazy and bump up that probability, knowing that you're not going to be able to keep it, and saying this is what you could have gotten. Haha. Yeah. Not a fan of that.
I want to mention something else too that I had failed to mention earlier, and it was just because I forgot about it, but it made me really mad about the game today. And that is this. I've been playing it since it released. I've completed 6 cups, right? And like Gary said, I've never placed below a certain point on it. In fact, I'll tell you, I've never gotten below first place. I'm playing on 50cc. It's how I play Mario Kart. I will go through and play every cup on 50cc, get all 3 stars, or whatever, and then get all gold on them, and then move on to 100 and do it, then move on to 150 and do it. It's just how I've always played Mario Kart. So I'm starting with 50cc. First cup, completely complete, got every star, right? Second cup, got every star, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of easy, right? So by the time I get to the third cup, I can no longer get every star. I'm trying as hard as I can. I'm doing everything that you can, and just for full disclosure, if you've not played this game, the way that you get the stars is you're scored at the end of the track. And your score is also dependent, and this is where I think the sleaziness comes in a little bit too, or greediness. Your score is also dependent on the score that you get from putting together driver plus kart plus glider. Mm-hmm. Right?
Building.
Now follow me here. This is important. All right? So I can't get I can get 4 stars on a track and not 5 stars. Right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not able to complete those. Now every cup, it's happening. I can only get 4 stars on 2 of the tracks, and I can get 5 stars on the first track, but I can't seem to score enough to get the last star on 2 of the tracks. So I finished
despite coming in first, correct?
Yes, I'm in first, and like in some tracks, I am in first by a landslide. Like there is like a gap between me and the person. So I'm just going to show you this. I don't think you can see it right here, where I should be able to go to my next track. Doing as well as I have, it says need 2 stars.
Mm-hmm. And so there's no way for you to get those 2 stars.
No, not unless I pay money to go hopefully get better characters.
To get the better gear.
The thing is
to
the
give
tracks,
you more points.
If you'll notice, there's a picture on each track of a certain character, and that character gets you the most points on that track. Well, if you don't have that character, then you'll get some points, but not the most. Now there's 2 options. Either I can pay money and I can go and I can buy the characters or do whatever and hope I can up my score, or there's daily challenges you can do that get you 1 star for each daily challenge, and you can hope that you can do those and unlock the next track.
Yeah. So
it's just to me that's very frustrating. It's like, really, I have performed above and beyond expectations on like everything you've asked me to do, and I can't keep playing.
Yeah, I think this is the first time that Nintendo has kind of really wrapped some of those things in that have really stopped us, and I think this is why everyone's quite outraged by it. I do want to call a couple things out, and we're going to move on off of this soon.
Yeah.
Episode makes a great comment here: $4.99 for 6 month seasons pass. Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Give me five. Again,
I
it's
would say
value. It's
that.
value proposition, right? Or hey, if you want, just pay $10 and you're fully unlocked everything, right? And you can get all the stars, get all the characters. I think they have to relook at this model. Now, here's the other reality of this. This is why they're not going to make any changes, despite us yelling now for 30 minutes. This game is going to make mint because of the way the game has been set up, both for the gacha and the season passes. And because of the nostalgia and the high install base, watch when the reports come out for the quarterly fiscals or whatever it is on this thing, watch where Mario Kart lands. And it is going to be way up there as part of their program, I'm willing to bet you. I also just want to say this, despite my yelling about the game and monetization, I actually am enjoying it. I'm having fun. Much like Marty, though, I am kind of finding I'm running into problems with limits of like, hey, I'm first, I'm getting 4 stars, but I should be getting 5. So that's kind of irritating. And much like Gary, the controls are taking a little bit of time getting used to, but I'm figuring it out. Again, if we're not paying a dime for this thing, I'm having a good time. And Nintendo has quintessentially captured the essence of what a Mario Kart game is. And again, to fans who are easily approachable, who can be in an eShop or in the iOS shop right now and see, oh, it's Mario Kart. Oh, this feels familiar. This feels like when I played it on the N64 or when my kids are playing at home. This feels comfortable enough that I'm easy to access it, which is exactly what Nintendo wants.
Yep.
I kind of wanted to add,
that's pretty spot on.
I haven't played it not only because of the whole microtransaction thing, but also that I'm kind of not a fan of the franchise anymore. I bought the Wii U version. I played through the 100 cc's. I'm lousy at the game apparently because I can't even play 150, much less even attempt to get the 200.
Yeah.
And so I didn't even buy it on the Switch. So it's kind of, serious fatigue on that for me.
Fair.
Hey, Justin, I will just one last comment here. The amount of money you said you would make a mint.
Yep.
Here in the South, we like to call that a butt ton.
Butt ton. So
it's
look
going to
for
make a butt ton of money.
Look for Nintendo's fiscal report saying butt ton of money. Now, we might be upset about mobile games, but there were a ton of great games that came out last week that we've all been playing. So this is a little bit of like an advancement of what you've been playing that we want to talk about because I think you guys have been playing it too. So we're going to jump into a little bit of roundtable of talking about Link's Awakening because it's out and we've all been really enjoying it. I think, except for you, Jesse. Jesse, are you playing it?
I am playing it.
Jesse's playing it too.
Yeah,
so
I wanted to try to finish it so I could play Dragon Quest, which is now live as of 15 minutes ago.
I appreciate your dedication for still being here for us. Then you're a real trooper. I'm gonna throw this first to Gary because Gary, you have you're a fan of Link's Awakening, right? Like you have some nostalgia for this.
Yeah, it's my favorite game of all time.
All right, so let's move on. Marty, what do you think? Okay, so Gary, I want to sit in this pocket and talk about it. Obviously, you have put a fantastic video out on our YouTube channel. I'm going to selfishly promote that. Go check it on our YouTube channel, folks, Nintendo Dads. But Gary, let's talk about this. How is Link's Awakening for the Nintendo Switch landing with you? Is it meeting your expectations? Is it exceeding your expectations? Is your nostalgia bone tingly?
Yes, maybe. Right. So this like I said, it's one of my favorite games of all times. I think having a Zelda which is short and snappy and these clear objectives where you can pick it up for 10 minutes, do an objective, put it down, pick it up, do a dungeon in. Most of them are about 15 to 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Put it down. I like that. I really like the short bursts. I think it's a great night and day on Breath of the Wild. Like Breath of the Wild is the exact opposite. Like I think these are both the complete opposite ends of the spectrum. The art style is so good. And
so adorable.
Yeah, and the music to go with it is like it's a marriage made in heaven. Like it really is. I think I think there's such a good job of updating some of the like mini games in it and some of the basic like quality of life stuff. Like there's walk points around the place. There's more of those. It's easier to get to where you want. The controls have been improved a lot, which is a big problem with the original, only having 2 buttons. There's a lot of things that are all good. Now, I'm kind of disappointed you can't use a D-pad on this because I find it really hard to play a top-down 2D game because it is 2D realistically in
I
control.
completely agree with that. I've been wanting to use the not the D-pad, but the other 4 face buttons on the left side, it's got limited uses in menus, but you have to use that left joystick.
And I find that mad because it released with the Switch Lite the same day. I'd have thought they'd have released a game that would actually use the only new feature on the Switch Lite. And no, that's a correction. There's a correction. That's a whoopsie correction right there because there is that screen shake thing which Game Explain reported on as well. If you guys didn't know about that,
I saw that.
Yeah, which is basically that the screen shakes on it instead of HD rumble, so you know like how much the HD rumble should be rumbling. But I will say this: it runs really bad in handheld. Like I find it so hard to play in handheld because I know people go on about it's not that bad. To me, it completely takes me out of the game because there's nothing I hate more than unstable frame rates. And I know this is coming from a guy who's been playing Fortnite, right, where it drops like 2 frames every once in a while. But I think that going from 60 down to probably 20 or 20-ish, 30-ish is a bit jaunting at times, and especially when it's as frequently as it is in Link's Awakening. And I think that the blur effect they've got when in handheld is a bit uncomfortable. But on the TV, it's much better.
Yeah, I like I'm okay with the blur in the background.
Yeah, it's the foreground.
It's the foreground. It just isn't right.
Yeah, I don't think it's tilted at enough of an angle for the blur effect to work properly in places. It's the foreground one that really, especially in handheld, looks like you've got like Vaseline all over the front of your Switch.
I think I don't remember if it was Game Explain or NWR TV, but one of them put out a pretty good video explaining why the foreground blur is just bad.
Yeah. So other than that, I mean,
and how it can be corrected.
A patch would make this game a lot better, right? Like, add in the D-pad, sort the frame rates out, give you the option to turn the blur off, and this game would be almost perfect. I think the only other thing you could do is make the dungeon sharing an actual feature out of the game, like on the menu, and to have it online sharing, because locking that behind an amiibo to share with your friends is also a strange choice. Right, but as a straight Zelda game, if you're buying a single player experience, you want a short, snappy, adventure game. I think this is one of the greatest and a testament to how remakes should be done.
Yeah, I'm enjoying my playthrough so far. Yeah, I've just finished the 4th dungeon.
Is that the water dungeon?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, also, I just want to add, sorry, I've been playing this on hero mode, which is the best addition to it, because as somebody who's completed this game probably at least 20 times, adding a hero mode for extra difficulty is something that I think is amazing. Like, it makes the game completely different for me. I'm actually dying on it, which is something that normally doesn't happen on Link's Awakening. I do actually kind of wish they'd put an easier mode in as well, though, because Erica finds it a bit difficult to play, and if it was an easier mode, that would have made it the best for her. Like, if Link never properly died, like you fall down a pit, you just restart from that room, that would have been the best.
Right.
But I praise it heavily for adding in a hero mode.
Nice. Marty, how are you landing on it?
Yeah, so this is like in my list of Zelda games, this is number 2, right? I have always had a soft spot in my heart for this game because it is so weird. Like, when you consider it in the whole canon of Zelda, it is the black sheep of the family, right? Because it's so different. It had the 2D sections.
If you're not,
that included tons of Mario
other
characters.
other than NES Zelda 2, which is the real black sheep.
But I mean, well, I guess you're right. It
This
is the
one's
real
this
black
one's
sheep,
just the crazy cousin.
This is the one that like he's over here in a corner muttering to himself something about Goombas and piranha plants and the guy from Sim City, and I just love that it's Nintendo at its best. This game was not afraid to take risks and be different, but still be Zelda and have that wonderfulness about it. Though I'm the opposite of Gary. I'm not a frame rate guy, but when I notice that frame rates are bad, that means they're bad. And so like noticing the jagginess between going from one screen to the next, it's kind of jarring. And at first I thought there's something wrong with my game. There's something wrong with my Switch. And then I got online and found out that everybody's having the problem and that it's not a problem. It's just the way the game's made. And so, I asked this on Twitter, what is it that about this game that's so taxing? Because we did not have this jagginess and stuff with Breath of the Wild. What is the issue here? I mean, Breath of the Wild, this giant open world adventure, and then you've got Link's Awakening, which can fit on the size of a pinhead, and it's slipping and
it sounds like
and,
yes, it sounds like the way new rooms are loaded may not be fully optimized.
Yeah, well, I saw a post
because at least Breath of the Wild, as you're moving through, you're constantly loading and unloading data beyond the horizon, so it seems endless.
What I saw was a kind of a comment attached to something about Digital Foundry, basically saying that they feel like it could be something in the code that's a memory leak that didn't get patched up like it should have, and that a future patch could fix this. But on the other hand, somebody commented this, and I agree with them on this point too. We're still waiting on that friend patch for Super Mario Maker.
Right.
Nintendow's not been great about keeping up with patches other than Fire Emblem.
I would bet you a Goujon dinner that the patch for Mario Kart mobile to play with friends will be there way before Mario Maker 2.
I'm sure it will.
One thing I noticed that kind of it's a little bit jarring to me, while it made sense in the Game Boy because the screen was rendered screen to screen, but so even in dungeons, if you can have one room that's 3 screens wide, so it'll smoothly scroll. But if you cut down some grass on the left side, walk to the right side, and then walk back to the left side, the grass is there again. So
yes,
it's purging and reloading content unnecessarily often.
Yeah, and this thing is it's purging content that really wouldn't need to be purged.
Right.
But
once you're 4 or 5 screens away, that makes sense. But I am not even 2 screens away. That shouldn't.
Another thing that
shouldn't have done.
I don't want to.
I don't think.
I don't want people to get the impression that I hate the game. I love this remake because like I said, I love this game so much. I actually played through it last year, did a 100% run during Christmas break. Didn't know this was coming, right? If I'd known, I may have waited and saved it. But there's a lot of little subtle tweaks to the game that I'm loving picking up on, like the commentary when you get the Yoshi doll and different things like that. Just that, add to the whole thing. I'm taking it in bite-sized pieces because I don't want it to end, right? I don't want it to be over yet. I know it's not the longest Zelda game, but I'm having fun trying to piece it together without doing a lot of walkthroughs and stuff like that. So, but I'm at a point right now where I'm kind of lost, and so I'm.
How far are you?
I think I did. I am 6 instruments in.
Okay, so you're still you're farther than I am.
Yeah, so there's I need to I just found I just found an item, and I won't talk about what it is because people don't like spoilers, but I found an item that I missed earlier on that I should have already had, and now I'm kind of backtracking to be sure that I've got what I need for
Yeah,
the
that
end of the game.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know what item you're talking about, but I understand.
I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after we're recording because I'm driving myself crazy trying to find something that is probably right under my nose. But
there's
also
one thing. You go ahead.
one thing I do want to mention, and then I'm done about this game, is I love this game's sense of humor. It is hilarious. Tons of great little quips and things back and forth. The writing was good back then. It's still good now. I love this game. There's very little it can do wrong. So, yeah, Jesse.
So I have a few. While it's a minor mistake, I think I made a mistake early on in the game, because when you're running around with Bow Wow, if there's a hidden item, Bow Wow will stop and tell you.
Yep.
See, my mistake was I returned Bow Wow before buying a shovel, so I missed out on that level of exploration. And Gary's laughing at me.
Yeah,
I
same
did the
here.
same thing.
Oh. Yeah, the phone. Yeah, Evil Cell says use the phone house. The phone house does give pretty decent clues most of the time.
Yeah, it does. That's good.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question here before Justin moves us on? Because I know I know that look on his face.
I was just gonna say I love the game.
Oh,
I'm very much enjoying it, and I like it a lot.
Just in Love Lamp.
It's like my favorite type of Zelda. Like I love Link's Awakening. I love A Link Between Worlds. This is perfect. My kids love the art style. I'm having a ton of fun, which in the end is what matters.
Yeah, I'm currently. I found a clue that tells me how to get to the color dungeon, and I'm trying to perform the required activity, but it's not working for me. So I must be missing something.
It would be a shame if Gary made a video about that. I'll talk about that later. One thing I want to say there for all the dadas and the mamas out there who've got this game and got kids who want to play it, if they're as young as Erica, so they're 4 or 5, do yourself a favor, get so far through the game, copy a file and shove them right back at the beginning village. Because once you're powered up, once you've been to the colour dungeon, you've picked up the rewards from that, and you've got a bit further on, then they will have a much better time. Just walking around, killing Octoroks, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Marty.
I've lost my train of thought because you derailed us. No.
I'm sorry.
Now I'm back. Now it's back. Here it is. Now that we've all played this, I know that the big debate about the game is it $60? Is it worth it? What do you guys think?
Yes.
Yep, straight in. Yep. You can't measure enjoyment.
I'm still on the fence of that. I think it depends on how much I end up enjoying the new dungeon maker part. I've liked what I've done so far, but I haven't gotten far because I just don't have enough pieces. So
I have such a hard time with the is it worth value when it comes to gaming, and especially games from this is a game from 1990 on a Game Boy. Yeah, this is over 30 years later. It's had to be redone. I had only ever played it for Retro Rewind. Do I have experience with it? Yes. Did I enjoy it? Yes. But does that diminish or change my enjoyment of it now? No, it doesn't. People got to be getting paid. Someone's got to get paid to make the new graphics, to redo the art. It wasn't like they just literally put the Game Boy game on the cartridge and mailed it to you.
Right.
There was a ton of work in
the original
development.
game probably only had 20 people on it total, because that's how they made games back then. Now it's probably 200.
Yeah, I can understand the argument when it's a port, right? Like this game just came off the Wii U and it cost on the Wii U 30 and you're charging me 40. I get that argument, right? But when you're saying like they have rebuilt the game from ground up, right? I don't think you can have that argument.
In using 3D models instead of 2D sprites, so that's a lot of art assets.
And listen, I feel the same way that all of you do. I think it's absolutely worth the money, but I just like it just over the weekend, especially in a lot of Nintendo groups that I was a part of, it just kept getting ground into the ground over and over and over and over. And it's like every time it gets posted, the same things get said, and and like like you said earlier, Justin, we're all for devs and people who make games getting the money they deserve for helping us have some enjoyment in this hole we call life, right?
Sure.
Right? So pay the people what they're worth. I mean, bottom line is if you don't think it's worth $60, then don't buy it.
Correct.
Don't crap on other people who are doing it.
There is one comment I want to say to this argument, right? I've heard a lot of people saying, "Oh well, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker was only." Captain Toad Treasure Tracker was using an engine that was pre-existing from Mario 3D World, right? So for that transition, there wasn't much work behind the game that had to be done. It was more, reconstructing levels. So that is a completely invalid thing to go off because the main core of that game was already built.
Yeah.
And so I believe that this is a completely different category and a completely different place. Now, I will say that for some people it's not going to be worth the money. That's fine. Don't buy it. If you think, I don't really care about the main game, I just want to buy it for the Dungeon Maker, is that worth £40? Worth £50? $60, whatever it is? No, it's not. I'm going to be honest with that. No, it's not. But if you just say, I like the game, I will enjoy replaying it, then yeah, it completely is worth the money. I mean, even if you only spent 10 hours on it, right? There's games that you would have spent the same amount of money for and only spent 2 hours on. So you can hardly argue about a game when you're getting more hours than other games for the same price.
Well, kind of like what I said about Dragon Quest Builders 2. When I was done with the first story, maybe 25 to 30 hours, I was satisfied, and if that was the game, I would have been happy with it. But that was just part 1 of 4.
Yeah. Our value proposition for video games is such an odd thing, right? Because I'll make my argument here is you will go to a movie theater and you will pay $15 for 2 hours of entertainment, right?
Yep. Right.
So what's your ratio? What's your ratio there, right? $15 for 2 hours. So.
Well, I won't tell you how much money I spent at that football game that I was there for 3 hours.
Yeah. But I'm trying to use some kind of equivalent, right?
And the tickets were free.
Yeah. Will you pay, $60 for 10 hours? Right? Do the math at $6. You're at a better price. But we're gonna move on. Speaking of prices and good places to potentially play Link's Awakening, Marty asked us, tell us about the Switch Lite, because you have had it in your house for a week now, and I'd love to hear about your experience as a parent. And how it's going.
Yeah, so my daughter wanted a Switch Lite, so we bought one. She doesn't have a Switch on her own, and she was so excited. We did a video unboxing it over on our channel that you can head over there and see her reaction to that. She got the turquoise Switch Lite, which was the only obvious choice because it's her favorite color, and unboxed it and set it up. It was really easy. If you've set up a Switch before, you know exactly what this is, because guess what, guys? It really is just a normal Switch in a smaller package with a D-pad and non-removable Joy-Cons. That there's no surprises. There were no themes, no extras in the box, just a Switch Lite and a power cord.
Yeah, the box seems surprisingly empty from the unboxings that I saw.
Yeah, it was.
You almost expected more, but nope. All you get is
a ton of cardboard inside and a manual and the power cord and the Switch Lite. But I will tell you this: she's absolutely in love with it, and I think this is absolutely the jam for kids going into this holiday season. And I believe, like we've talked about, Nintendo is going to sell, again, let me say it, a butt ton of these leading up to Christmas. They sold 150,000 of these in Japan over the weekend, which brings or maybe it was 114,000, and they sold 41,000 Switches, which is crazy because from the week before to that reported total, the total of sold Switches that week actually rose when the Switch Lite came out. So the Switch Lite just existing carried the OG Switch, to higher sales that week. Um, and they are bumping on the door as of this week of 10 million units sold just in Japan of the Switch.
Wow.
And so this is going to be, I'm predicting, like I said last week, it's going to sell gangbusters at holiday. I really think that we will see another color. I think we're going to see a Zelda bundle that is going to be exclusive to some retailer. That's going to be like a green and yellow or green and brown, kind of like the 2DS that came out last year. But guys, this may be the system that turns my daughter into a gamer. Like, she carries it with her everywhere. The two things she's doing with it, she's got NES and SNES downloaded. We bought her the Little Friends game, the dog and cat. And she's got my Just Dance games that we had as a family, and she's got YouTube, and literally that's all she needs. When we go somewhere now, she's not taking her iPad with her. She's taking her Nintendo Switch Lite. We got her a case off of Amazon that came with a really nice case with game storage and cord storage and everything, with a strap, like not a purse strap, but like a wrist strap. Mm-hmm. So it looks like a clutch. And it even has like the little flap for game storage and everything in there. And it's kind of a hard shell case. And it came with 2 full glass screen protectors for like $10 on Amazon. And you can get them in colors that match your Switch if you want it, or you can get the other colors. But so far, it's been an absolute win. I will tell you, in hand, and this is where I said you might argue with me in the show, Justin. The Switch Lite in the hand is the best iteration of the Switch portably.
Okay.
Absolutely. It is sleek. It is light. It feels super sturdy. It just feels fantastic. The D-pad is super responsive. The buttons feel great. Here's kind of where I'm at after a week of the Switch Lite being in my house. This is the size that the Switch should have been in the first place.
Interesting. Okay.
Objection!
Okay.
Oh, where's our hot
fully
take?
prepared
Hot
for that.
take.
Hot take!
I really feel like that if doing this has, and I know adding Joy-Cons with their own batteries and internals and everything adds to the weight as well, right? But if they could have gotten the original Switch to this size and this weight and still made it able to be plugged into the TV, or maybe just a little bit more heavy and still may be able to plug into the TV, it's almost the perfect handheld, right? As it stands, the Switch Lite is the best handheld gaming system that has ever been created, and Nintendo deserves mucho kudos for this.
Yeah, I was actually, if it had the rumble and a better way to share games between your home one, like a second system, I would have actually really wanted one of these, because what I wanted more than anything before we heard of the Switch was basically an upgraded Game Boy, right?
Right.
For me, missing Rumble, that's the one that I'm kind of... I know it seems like such a small thing, but I've always wanted a Nintendo handheld to Rumble. I love the little included Rumble packs in some of the games on the Game Boy. And that's one of the things that I really don't like, the idea about the Switch Lite. And I've heard that you can share games, you can share your digital games, but it's an absolute nightmare to do, because you have to set up one which is, you have to change it to your primary Switch, right, and keep your one at home as the secondary, because you need the internet connection on the secondary one to play the games, and then you got to manually do every single cloud save that you want to transfer between the two. But as a standalone console, this sounds fantastic, yeah? So
here's what I think, and to answer your concerns about that, you're absolutely correct in all of that. But I think that when this does inevitably go gangbusters for Nintendo, they're going to change some of those things. I really believe that.
Just to add a note in what you're saying, Marty, it has done well in Japan on its release, but it's actually missed targets so far.
Really?
By half. Yeah,
Wow.
they predicted double of what it was done. It's done 114,000 reported by Nyko, and in Britain it's done 13,500, and it's literally missed its targets by half.
Wow. Okay. So not doing as well as it could, but
no, but I mean, I think those numbers are good. Like, I think the predictions
they're
are
good.
way too high. They're way too high.
And again, for a device that's only been out for a week.
Yeah. Those were predictions for the week, though. They were
okay.
They were predictions for launch, so it failed on its launch numbers. But I mean, come on, Nintendo's numbers have been crazy. Even the Switch, remember, they cut those down because they predicted way too many. I think they're.
Yeah, they predicted 20 million units the second year, and it went down to 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've enjoyed it. My daughter has enjoyed it. I think it's a great system for kids. I think it's a great way, again, with the system sharing, if you can pull that off, to do it with, maybe let your home system be the primary and let your Nintendo Switch Lite be the secondary that has to check the internet. And maybe that can be like, if you've got games your kids want to play, but they're always, and you're always like missing your Switch because of that, you could do it that way. But the cloud save thing is true. I mean, you've got to upload and download every time you play. But honestly, like a workaround for that, air quotes again, you're not going to be cloud saving every single game on your system every single day. And so the likelihood of you moving those cloud saves back and forth is just going to be the game you're playing mainly in that time. So once you get it all moved over, it shouldn't be a problem. But again, if you already have a Switch, probably not something you're going to need unless you just want to, have one to give your kids or something.
I do really like the colours. Like, the colours look beautiful, and I know a lot of people never said much about the grey one, but I was really excited for the yellow. But seeing it in real life, the yellow doesn't look as good as I thought it does. But the grey one looks a lot better than I thought.
The grey looks great.
Yeah.
Shout out to our good friend of the show, Bobby Pauls, the Nintendo guru, who picked up all 3 Nintendo Switch Lites on the day of release, as well as Zelda and all the new amiibo.
Is he giving one, or is he giving away, or is he just keeping them?
I don't know what he's doing. I messaged him. I was like, "You got all 3?" And he's like, "Yeah, man. Got to have that guru street cred." And you know what my reply to him was, "You are a national treasure. Never change."
Justin looks like he's ready to have a dad talk with Bobby. Bobby, look, Nintendo Guru, run. Justin's coming for a dad talk.
A little conversation about fiscal responsibility.
So can I ask here among you 3, is there any plan for you to buy one of these for yourself or one of your kids or spouse, whatever? I don't know. Because, I mean, it seems like that's the situation a lot of people are buying them in. It's I've got a Switch and now I'm getting another one.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, when it was announced, I remember Jody was like, "Oh wow, those look kind of interesting or kind of cool. What do you think? Do you think you're going to get one?" And I said, "I don't know if I necessarily need one, right? I don't know if it makes sense for what we're doing." And but I think with the way that my life is going right now, with kind of the work that I do and traveling a bit more, every time I take the Switch, because I'm always like, I'm going to take a Switch, and they're like, really, you couldn't leave that for us, right? So I'm like, maybe I should be leaving the Switch. So that makes me think, maybe I should leave the Switch and get this as kind of being like my to-go Switch, like my actual when I travel. The other component of it is I know that like Morgan, my youngest, is really loving video games. Like, she comes home and she's the one that grabs the Switch and goes to her room or goes downstairs and plays on it, or she'll grab her 3DS and play on it. So she's really into console gaming right now. So she's got some birthday money tucked away, so maybe that's something that she may want to look at, and we'd obviously have a conversation with her about that and maybe support some of that. So
I'm glad I don't have this problem. because everyone who wants to play the Switch has their own Switch in my house.
Yeah. So for me, maybe my girls might be picking one up, or I might pick one up. But I'm definitely not rushing out right now. But I will tell you, there was a couple times this weekend I thought, well, maybe, but not quite yet.
I've been tempted to for Erica because she really loves Mario Odyssey and Yoshi. But as a guy who's had countless drift problems with Joy-Cons, I'm going to wait for those reports, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I know that we've already seen some people saying that they're drifting already, and there's a few that have lost the sticks on them already. But you can't trust the initial things because there's a fear thing where people want to report on the problems. So I'm going to wait a bit longer and see what happens. Because, like I said, I've sent 5 Joy-Cons off already for repair, and I kind of don't want to send a system off. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to keep Erica playing mine for now.
Yeah. I see in the chat here, John Blanco absolutely seconds your commentary there, Marty, as well. Guys, that has kind of been a lot of round the table of kind of like an abridged version of what has happened this week. Why don't we jump crazy. Yeah, let's jump into what we've been playing, super hot topics, because we have a bunch of Twitter questions that I think we should answer. So let's do what you've been playing, hot round. All right, folks, so let's do hot potato. What?
See, I'll start.
Yeah,
I'll play Link's Awakening. We already talked about it. Next. Done.
I like your attitude. I like your pizzazz. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a little pizzazz in your step. I think you're also tired and want to go to bed, which I appreciate. Let's move down to Gary Gray.
Yeah, Link's Awakening, Hero Mode. Beautiful, love it. And Diamond X Machina. Now, not putting enough time in since... Oh, actually, no, I didn't talk about it with you guys. Yeah, I haven't got that much further than the demo at the moment because, Link's Awakening happened. So I'll be talking more about this in the next couple of weeks. So for now, I'll keep it zit. And we'll talk about it later.
Okay. All right, Marty, this is like the quickest round I've ever seen.
So we already talked about Link's Awakening. It's fantastic. Definitely advise you to go pick it up. Also, Untitled Goose Game. I've been playing that. We've hit on that a little bit.
I don't think we haven't really. We had a pre-show.
No, we talked about it pre-show, didn't we? Okay,
yeah, so you and
Untitled Goose Game launched same day as Link's Awakening, right? Hopefully not getting buried. But it's had enough publicity, I think, that it's not. If you have ever wanted a horrible person simulator, except you're a goose, this is the game for you. The game starts you off with a very quick how to be a goose tutorial. Like, I'm laughing about it just thinking about it because I'm picturing the goose, waddling around. They absolutely nailed the movement, by the way. And so it starts you off with this very quick tutorial, and then it throws you right into the fray, and you just start doing horrible things like tearing up a farmer's garden or dragging his rake into the lake just because, or stealing his keys out of his pocket and throwing them in the lake, or stealing his thermos and putting it in your picnic area because you're trying to have a goose picnic. And the whole thing is wrapped up in like very, I don't want to call them minimalistic graphics, but I think it's the motion is more emphasized than detail, right? The animation is more emphasized.
Stylized? Is that what the word?
Yeah. That's some of the word.
But here's for the stylization, and here's the other thing. We've been playing Untitled Goose Game as well, Marty. So I'm gonna throw a little bit. I'm gonna maybe jump in and out of this.
No, please do.
One of the things I have absolutely loved, and this, make sure you have the music up. Make sure you have your earbuds in, because the orchestra or the music they use in with it, just tight. Like very often, like I hear the music, and sometimes you'll hear music in a game. You're like, oh, it's good sound effects. The music just really ties this game together.
It ramps
fantastic.
Up at just the right part. It's subtle when it needs to be. It's frantic when it needs to be. I was just about to get to that.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm glad you jumped in because it's such an important point, because it's the soundtrack doesn't take away from the game. It underscores what's going on, and it makes it just all ties it together. It's like the glue that holds it together. And I wish I had had more time this week to play it. But again, I'm like Gary with Damon X Machina. Link's Awakening calls. The windfish is calling, and I must answer. That's what I've been playing. I'm done.
Okay, nice. I'm going to kind of piggyback off of that. Untitled Goose Game has also been going on in my house. It came out, and I thought there are games that I like to either play with Jody together. Like, obviously, Overcooked is one of our favorite games we play together. But I saw this, and I thought this might be a really good, like, I just want to put it in her hands and see what she thinks of it, because it's a strategic, stealth, puzzle, quirky kind of game. And I gave it to her, and I just had a blast watching her play it. And kind of playing a bit of couch quarterback, and you should try that and do this, and it was just a lot of fun, and I enjoyed watching her play it, enjoyed watching her talk about it and think about it, and then later on we try to tackle some of the little problems together. For $15, I think it is, right? It's $15 or $20. It's on sale right now. Go pick up Untitled Goose Game. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I know, Gary, you had an opportunity to play it back at EGX like last year. We played it. I think you were a fan of it back then too. It's great.
I really enjoyed it. I didn't pick it up just because of Link's Awakening and Damon X Machina, Astral Chain. Yeah, the list goes on. But I want to ask you guys this, right? In Japan, it actually comes with a subtitle, so it's not just Untitled Goose Game. And I want to know your opinions on this, because I really like this name. It's called Untitled Goose Game. Mischievous Goose is coming.
Yeah, I like that. That's a better title. They should have done that.
I love it.
Here's one of the things that I think for this. So if you are, and maybe like Gary, you're buried under games right now because it is hot season right now. You're like, man, go into your Nintendo Switch, put Untitled Goose Game on your wish list, so that if there is a hot sale sometime in 3 or 4 months from now when you got some time, you can jump in and pick it up, because you need to be. I would not be shocked. Now, this is not a super long game. I would not be shocked if they rolled out some like DLC strategy later, like, because they've really got it segmented into these beautiful little worlds with easy objectives. So I wouldn't be shocked by that. So Untitled Goose Game I've been playing, Link's Awakening I've been playing. I have also been playing Overcooked 2, because the new DLC Carnival time has come out, or the Carnival DLC package has come out. If you own Overcooked 2 and you love Overcooked 2, make sure you pick up the season pass, because there is a ton of the DLC built into a cheap season pass, but the Carnival one is in there. This time you are at a carnival and you are cooking up hot dogs, and you are chopping up buns, and you are making tacos, and you have to make soda pops and drinks, and it is just a ton of fun. So Overcooked 2, make sure you pick that one up. And last thing I've been playing, Fortnite. I blacked out. I went back into Fortnite. I did the Batman stuff. I loved it. It was fun. I'm still playing Fortnite, but again, I think my most fun I'm having with it is when I'm playing with my friend Jeff, and we're in the same room playing co-op together. That is the most fun. Guys, that is it. That is like speed round of what have we been playing. Man, we are good, guys. I want to jump into, a little golf clap, Gary. Thank you. I do want to jump into the questions that we got, because we put it out on Twitter. We like to answer the questions for our community, so I'm gonna pull up the questions. So we're gonna do kind of a hot fire. We've got 8 questions we're gonna answer, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up, and everyone can head off to bed. All right. This is or go to work, This question comes from Mikey Burgett. Mikey asks, this question is prompt for discussion, prompt from a discussion in the Free Play podcast last week. How many hours or how many plays do you expect to get out of a game to make it the financial investment worth it? This is kind of talking about our conversation before about value, right? I don't think the amount of time and plays necessarily works into it. I think it's how much enjoyment am I getting out of it. Am I having fun? That's how much I kind of measure it. I do understand your value proposition here, Mikey. This is talking our conversation a little bit before about like the movie scenario, going to the movie. I'm a person, like, if it's a $60 game, if I get 4 to 6 hours of enjoyment out of it, I feel like that's a pretty reasonable value. If it is anywhere under 20, 1 to 2 hours, I'm kind of like a $10 per hour value proposition would kind of be the way that I would look at it. Because again, I also make that equivalent to going to a movie is kind of how I would look at it, right? But I'm also just more of a, hey, as long as it's fun, it's awesome. Anyone else want to kind of take a stab at that one?
No, I think you got it, man. They're like, I've never thought about it in an hours per dollar, thing with video games. I mean, I assign it more as franchises. Like, am I willing to pay $60 for a Zelda, Mario, Metroid, Mario Kart? Yes. Would I would I rather some franchises I don't care for as much be cheaper? Sure. But I find that I do a lot more window shopping of prices when it comes to indie games than it does to actual AAA, first party games and things like that. So with an indie game, I want it to be something that I know that I'm going to play at least more than 5 times.
Yeah. Typical with a AAA game, I know before I purchase it, most likely the value I'm going to get out of it. Do you know what I mean? It's not an unknown quantity, right? If I'm picking up something from Nintendo first party, Link's Awakening, I have a pretty good idea how much time I'm going to invest and how much fun I'm going to have based on the IP. Now, something like an Astral Chain, that is a unknown quantity, but does it check off a lot of other boxes? Publisher I trust, a development house I trust.
Yeah, that's what I was going to mention. Is if different developer and publisher. Is also something that could be kept an eye on as well.
Yeah, exactly. A genre that I trust, right?
Just like Jupiter Games, sure, I'm all over it. Platinum Games, not so much.
Yeah, exactly. So those are some. So sometimes I will take a risk based on those components of it, right? That will help to define whether I'm going for that. I think when you move into like an indie studio, that's when you don't know them. You're like, ooh, that's maybe a little bit more of a risk, right? So.
Yeah. For me, it's a strange one because I think enjoyment is the definitive thing. If you're enjoying it, then yeah, it's worth it regardless. Obviously, you would be a bit gutted if you spent that much money and got 4 hours of Kirby. I mean, if you got a really short game. But I also think it can go the other way sometimes. Like Xenoblade Chronicles, the original Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii, was actually so long that it stopped being enjoyable. Now, as money per hour, yeah, fine, yeah. I mean, you get your money's worth because, like, if you do everything in that, it's like 300 hours long, right? But at the same time, it also really hindered the enjoyment. So, I think it's just down to how much you enjoy a game rather than like the length versus the money.
Yeah, and that's like something. So, Link's Awakening is a great example of that. I am not going to go searching for every single one of those shells. I am not going to find every hidden treasure. I know that, right? When I finish the game, if there was a percentage, it'll probably say 65 to 70. Am I okay? Do I feel like when I have finished that, the story, the fun, the enjoyment that I've had has met my value quota? Yeah, probably, right? I don't have to be like, I have to go back and find all those pieces because that will be the true value for me, right? It is more the fun association with it. So that's how I look at it. Let's go to our next question from Ebisil asks, not a fan of Diddy Kart Tour. Do you think that the next Mario Kart will be an ultimate with every course, every racer, every battle stage, plus a Double Dash 2 player kart mode? So
I can wish. I mean, I can hope.
Next Mario Kart be an all-encompassing everything?
I think that we are more likely to see Mario Kart evolve into something like Smash Kart. And I don't want to call it, I mean, that's the only name I could have for it, for what it could compare to. Nintendo Kart. Because we've already kind of seen that with Mario Kart 8, right? I mean, we've crossed over to Animal Crossing and Zelda and Splatoon. I think it's a logical jump to now start building tracks in other worlds and including some of those items and people, characters.
So
I don't know that it's going to necessarily.
You want Mega Man riding a Rush cart in a Castlevania stage?
Yes, I do. Do I think it'll be more first party? Absolutely. But what I do think is that if we do get something like that, it's not going to be all out, full tilt, everything to begin with. They're going to have it's going to be like Mario, Peach, Bowser, Toad, Samus, couple of Splatoon characters, Isabelle, Link, Zelda, that kind of thing.
I like it. Okay.
And I think that's logical as a celebration of where Nintendo's been, because like Mario Kart, nobody's looking at Mario Kart for story canon, right?
Yeah.
No, just like they're not looking at Smash for story canon. So Be playful with it and open it up. But I think that's why we haven't seen a sequel yet. Is that they're figuring out Mario Kart 8 was so good. Like, where do you go from there, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think they would do like an ultimate. We already know that the next Smash Brothers isn't going to be. Sakurai's come out and said that like there's no way he's doing that again, and like I don't think that's something that Mario Kart would do either. Unlike I actually disagree. I don't think it's logical or makes any sort of sense to do a Smash Kart. The reason is because look at the sales of Mario Kart 8. It's through the roof. I think if you get it too
future
confused,
hardware iterations are backward compatible, they don't need to make a new game. They just need to continue adding new content to the existing games.
yeah, and I think that you're in danger of smothering the franchise if you introduce too much, and Mario Kart 8 isn't the first one to introduce other characters in from other games, right? We had Rob the Robot on the DS one, and he never came back. And I could see that happening again. I could see Link not turning up in the next one and stuff like that. But I do think that we probably will see characters from other franchises as DLC again. But I don't think like Link and the Inklings will return. I think it'll be something else.
Okay.
I like it. All right. Next question. Noah asks, is anyone picking up Dragon Quest XI? Jesse!
I have not yet done so, but I definitely will be doing so. I'm kind of still... The only reason why I haven't pre-purchased it is just in the off chance we get a review copy that
Right.
it will likely go to me.
Yeah.
And so that's why I haven't pulled the trigger on that. But yeah, I'm going to pick up 11 and the 1 through 3 trilogy at some point.
Nice. Excellent.
I just
So,
have two other games I need to review in early October before I even start Dragon Quest XI.
Yeah, exactly. So Jesse's going to be our Dragon Quest guy, so look for coverage from that. And he's got some other games, like you mentioned, on the docket as well. Bruce asks, I won't be buying Grid Autosports right away since it's a single-player game. I was hoping to play with my father. I'm waiting until it's 50% off. Also, I'm going to wait to buy Link's Awakening, but I'll jump in on Luigi's Mansion 3 on day one. Great. I like it, Bruce. Absolutely. Love it, love it. Here's what I would say as well. Quick, friendly reminder, PSA, for speaking of sales, there is a big, massive sale going on in the EU eShop right now. So check out that if you have games there that I know, like, for example, Hollow Knight is less than £10. So if you are maybe on the fence about that, check it out. There's a ton of great games, including Cuphead as well, that are on sale. Another thing for our EU listeners, I miss Europe so much because they have awesome pre-order stuff. You can get Luigi's Mansion 3 right now. If you pre-order it, you get a t-shirt, a Boo t-shirt, a keychain, and a steel bookcase for Luigi's Mansion 3. Come on.
You know what we get? A game.
Nothing.
You know what you guys get? You get general merchandise. We don't get that stuff. You can't go into a store and see the Nintendo aisle and pick stuff up. That doesn't happen here. That's why they entice us with the pre-orders instead.
If any of our EU listeners happen to want to get that Luigi's Mansion pre-order and want to get an extra t-shirt, hit me up in my DMs, and we'll talk about maybe an extra size shirt for me and maybe me sending you money. Because that Boo t-shirt looks brilliant.
We'll talk.
All right, I love you, Gary, so much. All right, let's move on to our next question. Shell Shock Prime asks, with the success of Mario Kart Tour on phones, do you think Nintendo will not make a Mario Kart 9 on Switch? Personally, I'm hoping they'll make one, but I don't think Tour will take anything away from a new Switch kart, but I'd love to know your thoughts. So do we think Tour is going to slow down Mario Kart 9 coming to the Switch?
No.
I
think
Mario Kart 8 is slowing down Mario Kart 9 because while 8 still sells, there's no reason to make a 9.
Yeah, and that's really it. When we see, so as the Switch continues to get more, we think of, for example, let's again think of the Switch Lite as we bring more users on for the Nintendo Switch. One of the games that they probably pick up as an easy pickup for any family is Mario Kart 8. And as long as Mario Kart 8 continues to sell, and it is selling well, it's still like when you look at the numbers, it continues to sell. And MPD numbers last month had Mario Kart 8 in the top 10.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That game has almost been out for 3 years now on the Wii U, and it's still selling.
Can I spin this question around, right? Not do we want a Mario Kart 9, but do you think we need a Mario Kart 9? Because me personally, I would want one, but I'm actually fine without.
Yeah,
I think Mario Kart
kind of
8
where I was
is
going with that.
consistent.
I don't think it's needed.
I would agree. I don't think it's here's the thing. Would I like it? Yeah, absolutely. Would I play it? Absolutely. Would I buy it? Absolutely. But I don't think, to your point, I don't think it's needed. I absolutely don't think it's needed. I'd love for them just to invest more DLC in 8.
Exactly. That brings us right back around to this thing that we say every time we talk about Mario Kart 8, in that the first 2 DLC blew up, did amazing. Why are we not seeing any more? It's been forever. So what is that Mario Kart team working on?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the mind goes to they're working on Mario Kart 9. That's why haven't cranked out any more DLC.
Yeah.
But again, why not just do a 3rd and a 4th DLC pack? Add in a few more characters. Add in 8 more tracks. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So I don't think it's going to slow it down.
No.
I think that success is going to be
I don't think it's going to cancel
separated.
it either. Like, I don't think there's anything about Mario Kart Tour that's going to make Mario Kart 9 not happen.
Correct. Jesse, what do you got?
I got a question from the chat. I actually already answered it in the chat, but I want to say it here for everybody. Elliot asks, do the Dragon Quest games tie together? Should they be played in order? If not, which of the first 3 would you recommend starting with? We're talking about the Erdrick trilogy, not 11. I said, 1 through 3 is a trilogy, but each story is separate. So it can be played in any order, but just in terms of quality of life improvements over time, I would probably recommend playing the first one first, so it doesn't feel like you're going backwards if you play 3 first and then go down to 1. And then you'll be like, well, I can't I do this that I could do in the other game, but it can't here because it didn't exist yet. So that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Just like I already played through DQ1, I'm not going to play it again on the Switch, at least not right away. But when I'm done with 11, I do plan on going back and hitting 2 and 3.
Nice. Okay. Next question on Twitter. Hushaman asks, rank your 5 favorite Zelda games now that Link's Awakening is out.
Wow.
I'm going to give you mine really quick. Maybe it's in no particular order, but my top 5. Let's just say that, okay? Breath of the Wild, Link's Awakening, A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds, and Wind Waker.
That's exactly mine. So skip me. I can tell you the Wind Waker is the number 1.
Yeah, I'd say actually definitely Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild, and then other games are fighting for those last 2 spots, including Link to the Past and Link's Awakening. Probably one of those 2 is in there, in addition to maybe Skyward Sword. I like the game. Yeah, it had issues, but it's still, I still enjoyed it. So I gave you maybe 7 games that'd be in that.
That's all right. Sure. Gary?
I still think I prefer Link's Awakening DX to the new one. I think so. That'd probably be number 1. Now, this is my, as in my favourite, like not what I think the best. Breath of the Wild would be the best, but Link's Awakening DX is number 1 for me, shortly followed by Breath of the Wild, shortly followed by Twilight Princess HD, shortly followed by...
I never played the Twilight Princess HD. I bought it and never got around to playing it.
It was good.
Just because I had just played it within like 4 months before it was announced on the Wii again. And I wasn't ready to play it through again.
Shortly followed by Wind Waker at 4 and Zelda 2 at 5.
Wow.
Nice. All right. Solid list. All right, so hopefully that helps. Last question comes from Niles. What do you think the Switch Lite means for future changes to Nintendo Online?
Nothing. They won't learn a thing. That's my honest answer. There really is. No, I don't think they're going to learn a thing. I don't think they're going to change anything. I don't think they're going to learn anything. I think we're stuck with this model for life.
I don't understand the question. What does the light have to do with online? Because
I wonder if I wonder if they're referring to like the ease of profile sharing and second consoles and houses and how to better. I'm wondering if that's maybe where that question comes from. I tend to agree with Gary. I don't think they're going to change anything, right? I'd love to say that they are, but I think it's still going to be the way it is.
Yeah, they're kind of following the same ideas that they followed with the 3DS, but the difference is the 3DS is meant to be a single user system. You can't even log out of it. If you want to change users, you gotta format it and start over.
Yeah, exactly.
So folks, I'm hoping they learn something, but not holding my breath.
Not holding your breath. That's fair. Folks, that has been our hot round, our lightning round for Twitter questions. Thank you for everyone who submitted that. Of course, that is over on at Nintendo Dads on Twitter, where you can submit your questions every single month, or of course, we get them read here and hopefully answer those questions. Guys, I think that's a show.
Yeah, that's a show.
Marty, you wanna take us out of here?
Yeah, Jesse, did you have something there at the very end?
Did I?
No, I was just all the voices were running over each other, and I thought maybe you were saying.
Nope, it wasn't me.
Something. Well, that's okay. Hey, again, guys, we want to thank you for joining us.
I just saw a tweet from Game Explain that I wanted to kind of, and I meant to say it here, but I completely forgot about it. So Dragon Quest XI's out now, and remember, this is the first Switch game that was announced before the Switch was even announced.
That's a good point.
And to backpack off that, the reason that we have that is because Iwata chased down Dragon Quest XI hard to get it on the Switch.
Yeah.
In fact, I read something today from like the little live stream thing they did with Sakurai when he was on there, that Iwata went to Square Enix and he revealed what the Switch was going to be and what it was going to do before he revealed it to any other company. He wouldn't talk about what it was going to be called, but he told them this is the idea.
That's great.
And we want this game on this system. Pretty cool. But guys, anyway, that has been episode 248. We hope you've enjoyed it. We want to say a huge thanks as we close out right here to our Patreon producers, Chris Mears and Dave Ernsberger and Tim Alf. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the podcast on the producer level. And thank you to each and every one of our patrons over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads for jumping in and making the world go round. Hey guys, we've got a website now, nintendodads.org. We've been talking about this now for several months, but you can head over there to get all of our YouTube videos, social media tweet feeds, podcast episodes, all that stuff, links to our Patreon page and links to our merch page, where you can get stickers and phone cases and shirts and all kinds of other stuff to let the world know about your undying love for Nintendo Dads. And you can find us in most places where people are socially. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. Just type in Nintendo Dads. Guess what? Boom, we show up. Or you can email us at nintendodads@gmail.com or our brand new email address, podcast@nintendodads.org. And we'll read your questions and comments out loud on the show. Unless you're some weird Chinese banking company that will call in and leave a voicemail on Google Voice like they did this week.
Play it.
I know.
We needed to play that.
No.
Well, maybe next week that's an Easter egg. I don't know. You can call in and leave a legitimate voicemail, though, at 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. Big thanks to OC Remix for the music used throughout the show. And big thanks to Mega Dads for the hot take sound effect.
I can't play it while I'm playing music.
Man, that
quiet.
was the gap, and that's why it's just an awkward pause in the show. Anyway,
I'll play it in a stinger.
That's okay. You can download us from your favorite podcast app of choice: Castbox, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Spotify, or anywhere else podcasts are sold. Not really sold; they're just downloaded. But you know what I mean. This has been episode 248. So for me, for Gary, for Justin, and for Jesse, hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
Hot Jam!